Welcome back to the channel. I'm Javi and today we are doing part 2 of our video. Part 1 included the comparison of IonQ and Rigetti Computing. So if you missed that, make sure you go back and watch it. I will just kind of skim over everything that I covered, but today we are focusing on D-Wave Quantum. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you stick around and let's dive right in. Okay, using the spreadsheet that we used on part 1 of this video, now including D-Wave Quantum, starting with the qubit count, they do have a qubit count of 5,000, fidelity score of 94%. They did not have a 1 quantum gate or 2 quantum gate fidelity percentage, so it was kind of hard to tell. Their quantum volume, I put 15 for now because on their website they said that they had a qubit connectivity of 15, so I put 15 right there. Next, they have an error rate percentage of 6%. A quantum advantage, I would say yes, because they are doing a hybrid combination of classical computers and quantum computers. I believe that's where most of these quantum computers will eventually end up, where they'll use a combination of quantum and classical computers. But that's just my prediction. R&D, I just put 100 million for now, according to their earnings report and some Google AI research. So I put 100 million. For their patent activity, it says 200 on their website. Partnerships, I counted 18 plus. Workforce strength, according to Robinhood, they have 180 employees, and their website also says that number. Market penetration, I would say medium. Although they are one of the oldest quantum computing stocks, they still have a lot to prove as well. I believe IonQ has a higher market penetration as far as quantum computing goes. So IonQ gets a high penetration and D-Wave Quantum gets a medium for me. Trailing 12-month revenue is 9 million. Comparing that to 37 million with IonQ, and Rigetti is at 11 million. EPS growth, 8.3%. So out of these three, it's the second highest right now. Rigetti is at 52% earnings per share growth, and IonQ is negative 9%. PE trailing 12 months, none of them have one. Price to book, didn't have one on Fidelity Investments. Profit margin, negative 1,214%. And total debt to capital is one of the highest thus far out of these three at 144%. So they have a lot of debt. The type of quantum computing they're using is quantum annealing. Like I said earlier, they have a combination of hybrid and quantum computing. So basically they do a quantum calculation and it kind of gets funneled through a classical computer. Market capitalization after this big rally of these quantum stocks, now D-Wave is at 1.13 billion. IonQ is at 8.22 billion and Rigetti is at 1.06 billion now. Institutional ownership, D-Wave Quantum actually has the highest amount at 47%, and the other two are basically at around 36% institutional ownership. Their earnings the quarter 3 earnings, they're estimated and they're actual, so they estimated negative 0.08, and they actually just pretty much matched it at negative 0.08 earnings per share. Their price has been ranging between 3 to 5.06, and their quantum computer is called the Advantage. They have a qubit connectivity of 15. They've been 20 years in business, and some variables, they can handle up to 20 million different types of variables and 100,000 constraints. So this is like how much input that they can handle all at once and the different parameters you can set on those computers. With that being said, it is important to note that all these numbers are from the company themselves. So their is a lot of bias in these numbers. So a company can say, oh, we're at 99.9%, but how true is that? Is it peer reviewed? Has another company proved their software and their hardware? So always be wary when you look at these numbers, because a lot of times they kind of fluff it up a little bit to make it look better. And next thing you know, they're under investigation for lying to their investors. I've been part of investigations before, such as Archwit Quantum. They were saying like, oh, we have the next generation level of quantum encryption. We're going to send satellites to space and we're going to use quantum to help encrypt all our information. Next thing we know, they're under investigation and their stock just plummeted to like negative 90%. So definitely be wary. It is hard to trust just what they're saying. So if you can find information from other third person parties, then that'll probably be the best ideal situation for the information that we're getting. Before we go to the website, I do want to point out that D-Wave has a really good YouTube channel because they explain things such as what is quantum annealing and how does it compare to other quantum processes, how the quantum annealing process works. So make sure you check them out. I do recommend it because they're very educational and informational. Okay, so going to their website, D-Wave Quantum. I clicked on products. There's other things to look at here. So product overview, the different systems. So if we click on systems, see where it takes us. So Advantage is the actual quantum computer itself. So the most connected and powerful quantum computer built for business. The Advantage system is the first and only quantum computer designed for business. Our fifth generation Advantage quantum computer was built from the ground up with a new processor architecture with over 5,000 qubits and 15-way qubit connectivity, empowering enterprises to solve their largest and more complex business problems. So, Advantage performance update. Only 1 year after launching Advantage, the performance update included a newly fabricated QPU for even better business performance, larger and more complex problems, more precision, higher quality answers faster, available in Leap. That's one of their programs as well. So, but as you can tell here, like they're not really providing any actual numbers. They're just saying larger and more complex problems or higher quality answers faster. But there's no numbers that they're providing to us. Like I looked everywhere, I couldn't find any. But comparing the different systems that they have, so Advantage QPU is there better solution quality than D-Wave 2000 qubit QPU 81% of the time, and 87% of the time is their latest QPU prototype. In July 2024 is when they started with that one. So time to solution, 10 times faster than D-Wave 2000. And the latest Advantage 2, it's 20 times faster than Advantage QPU, so the very first one. The topology, the layout of it is that you're using Chimera topology, Pegasus, and Cipher. And qubits for Advantage QPU is at 5,000, and the latest one is at 1,200. Couplers, 6,000 was used on the original. Now they're at 40,000, and the latest one is at 11,000. Connectivity, 6-way connectivity for the very first quantum computer that they had, and their advantage is it has a 15-way connectivity, and the latest one will have a 20-way connectivity. And if you watch one of those videos about what is quantum annealing, you'll see how they connect them in different rows. So that's what they mean by the different connectivities and how they pretty much entangle them together. Largest embedded 3D lattice. They have a 15 by 15 by 12. So this is probably their largest. On those videos as well, you can tell how big these computers are. Their largest embedded click is 180. Comparing that to their latest Advantage 2 QPU that's still in the works, which is at 82. The next thing I wanted to point out here was The advantage quantum computer is 30 times faster and delivers equal or better solutions 94% of the time compared to our previous generation system. And that is how I got the 94% gate fidelity average here. And although they don't really classify it as a gate fidelity, that's kind of what they're saying they can produce right now. It's 94% of the time they they get the same results basically. They continue to scroll down. Real world size, production applications. So this is where they mention the advantage can run problems with up to 100,000 constraints and up to 2 million variables on sparse problems and up to 20,000 variables on dense problems. Whether dense or sparse, it delivers excellent solutions to business sized problems, often outperforming classical approaches. So that is the important part to point out, is that they are outperforming classical approaches. Next, they do say 2.5 times more connectivity. Higher connectivity and more compact embeddings mean better quality solutions on large, more complex problems. And this is where they claim the 2000 qubits right now and the 2 million variables. Built to support real size applications with up to 2 million variables and 100,000 constraints via our quantum classical hybrid solver service in Leap. Moving on to the presentation that D-Wave has on their website, they break down the other systems that they have. So Advantage is the actual quantum annealing, which they are on their 5th generation system. The Leap is the real-time quantum cloud quantum hybrid solvers. That's up 99% of the time. Ocean is their open source Python tools, easily configurable, simplifies use of QC and HSS. And Launch is their customers PS on-ramp from applications eval to production deployment. Strong customer base. They have MasterCard. Let me see other ones that are recognizable on here. Unisys, Lockheed Martin, Accenture is also working with them. That's Microsoft. And those are pretty much the big ones that I can point out on here. So they have an established product portfolio, world's largest quantum computer, accessible through production grade cloud service, quantum supremacy paper under peer review. So that's good to know. So we can look into that later. Growing commercial adoption, first commercial quantum computing company, 30 plus proven business use cases, initial applications moving into production, 20 plus successful point of care or point of contact engagements in 18 months, advisory services to aid in production deployment. And one thing that I had wrong earlier was the 240 plus US granted patents, and they have 100 pending worldwide. So I changed that on my Excel spreadsheet here from the 200 to 340. Let's see, 43 PhDs are at their business and over 240 scientific papers published. Next, they have completed their calibration of their 4,400 qubit Advantage 2 prototype. Remember earlier on their website, they have 1,200 qubit Advantage, but now they're basically increasing that to 4,400, which would take it to which would make it greater coherence, greater connectivity with their 20-way connectivity to enable solutions to large problems, and increased energy scale increased by 40% to deliver higher quality solutions. So continuing to scroll down, further progress on quantum AI solutions. D-Wave continues to make rapid progress on exploring generative AI architectures that directly use quantum processing unit samples from quantum distributions to facilitate faster and more energy efficient model training and interface. Completed initial designs of transformer and diffusion architectures, moving forward benchmarking the role of the QPU, supporting several customers that are investigating restricted Boltzmann machine architectures, a canonical machine learning approach for generative AI that uses samples from the QPU. Overall, that's really good news, and basically they're using quantum and AI together, and that actually has a huge implication because now, because AI when you ask a question, uses a lot of energy because it's using these classical computers that are very systematic, like one thing at a time. I guess that's more the CPU versus the GPU. GPU can do it a little faster, and that's why GPUs are desired for generative AI. Imagine quantum. Quantum can actually do it a lot more simultaneously than GPUs can. So I can see how quantum can be applied for AI solutions, especially at a larger scale, especially now we're at the beginning phases of AI. In the future, for example, robotaxi is going to be a thing. Robotic arms at restaurants making little meals and burgers and stuff. Those are going to require some kind of quantum processing because they're going to get multiple orders. They need to have the ability to optimize those orders at the same time so people can eat. And there's so many applications of it that I can think about. Robotaxis, robotic arms, autonomous delivery such as serve robotics, electrical vertical takeoff such as Joby Aviation, GPS optimization, and pretty much like satellites in space, making sure they're all in the right spot, making sure they're able to switch between different satellite signals as they revolve throughout the Earth. So there's definitely a lot of implications for quantum and AI together. Introduction of their service level agreements, SLAs for Leap Cloud Service customers, new SLAs for Leap Quantum Cloud Service customers who are transitioning applications into production. They believe D-Wave is the only quantum computing company providing formal SLAs. Now, that's what I was saying earlier when they say believe. It's kind of something that they're self-proclaiming because if you really want to be nitpicky, I believe IonQ and Rigetti are also providing some kind of cloud service to their customers, and that's how they're actually making money as well. IBM is doing it, Google, Microsoft, all of those companies are doing it as well. The next contender actually is Honeywell. I haven't looked at them yet, but one of the subscribers commented saying like, "Hey, make sure you look into Quantinuum." So that's probably going to be another stock we're going to look into to compare against the rest of them. Offering SLAs reflects the high level of availability, reliability, and performance of Leap Quantum Cloud Service and its ability to support requirements for commercial grade applications and customers move into production deployments. Our monitoring data shows that the Leap service has consistently exceeded 99.9% availability over the past 2 years, meaning that the service is highly reliable even during periods of high demand. So there's definitely a lot of fluff here. High demand at this early stage, I wouldn't call it high demand at all. I believe once you start using quantum at a higher level, for example, once we start involving AI, like I mentioned on the previous slide, then that's where you'll see that high demand for sure. As of right now, I wouldn't call anything high demand because there's really no applications for it yet that are commercially available to a big scale for the everyday citizens. So next, which is also really big news as well, Japan's largest mobile phone operator plans to move quantum applications into production. NTT Docomo, Japan's largest wireless carrier with more than 87 million subscribers, is planning production deployment of a hybrid quantum application built with D-Wave technology for optimizing mobile network performance. Using D-Wave's annealing quantum computing solutions, NTT Docomo found that it can reduce network signal congestion across base stations, potentially leading to more efficient signal transmissions and equipment cost savings. That's actually really good news. Next, D-Wave deemed awardable on U.S. Department of Defense TradeWinds Marketplace. U.S. Department of Defense TradeWinds buying platform included D-Wave's annealing quantum computing products and services. Go-to-market efforts include a launch of quantum optimization market category. They have an aggressive go-to-market growth strategy. And in addition, recent work on our systems in the area of material simulation has opened up new GTM efforts with research and government customers. Broaden reach with new partnerships. They partner up with Stack and Chicago Quantum Exchange. Some of their financial updates for 2024 quarter three, first 9 months, revenue increased by 11.4% to 6.5 million. Research and government revenue, so for by the millions, increased by 70.5% to 2 million for research, and government increased by 43% to 1.8 million. Their total number of customers increased from 125 to 132, and term loan balance decreased. Pretty much it's all paid in full now, so that's really good. Their capital raising capacity in the millions for quarter three 24. So they're all quarter three 24. So they were able to raise 49.9 million with ELOC, 79.1 million with ATM, and 75 million with S3 shelf. So that's pretty good too. Overall, I am an investor in quantum. There is a lot of quantum computers out there, so it's too early to tell which one will succeed. That's why I'm kind of creating this Excel spreadsheet to kind of raise awareness on what's happening. As of right now, I am kind of just dollar cost averaging my positions. I am buying a little bit of Rigetti, IonQ, and D-Wave Quantum. Slowly but surely, I am building my portfolio. D-Wave, I don't have any shares yet. I did buy it back in the days when it used to be $1.33, but I did sell it because at the time I didn't believe in this stock. But after doing some more research, I think I will add it, just a small portion of my portfolio, probably less than 1%. IonQ is about 3% of my portfolio now. Rigetti is also around the same level that IonQ is on my portfolio. I do have a very diversified portfolio. I have 92 different types of equities in my portfolio. So don't really ever invest in one type of technology because you will get burned. I've been burned before. For example, I was invested in a technology by Energous, or WATT was the stock symbol. They had all these promising results, over the air charging, and the stock basically shot up to the moon, like to $15 at some point. And I was a strong believer in that stock. And the thing is, over time, all their promises never came true, and now they're a penny stock all over again. So definitely take your profits when the time presents. I did take profits on IonQ because my overall portfolio did perform at 2,300%. So I did take some profits. Let's see what happens in the future. If they all start dropping again, I will most likely start buying a little bit heavier than what I'm doing right now. My strategy currently is buying $1 at a time when the market is open. So hopefully that strategy works out long term. I do have a very diversified portfolio as well, so keep that in mind. So Ion quantum stocks are just a small portion. I hope that you found this video helpful. It did take a lot to put together. It's also still a work in progress. So if you have any feedback, make sure you leave it in the comment section below. If there's anything else I could add to the metrics, please let me know, because it was a lot to kind of put together, and also finding that number for that different metric was a little challenging because all of these companies are a little bit different, and I do believe that they all have their little niche that they can target in the future. For example, D-Wave focusing on optimization, IonQ and Rigetti all focusing on more complex problems such as protein design, protein folding, protein sequencing. So those are the potentials for those types of stocks. So definitely, I hope that you did like this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I do hope to see you in the next video. Till next time.